Can you guess which type of lamp produces yellow light? Yes, it is sodium vapor lamp. It produces yellow light of a wavelength of 589.3 nanometer. But how do we know its wavelength? One of the few methods to find the wavelength of monochromatic light is the Fresnel's biprism experiment. With the help of this interesting experiment, we can find out the wavelength of any monochromatic source of light such as LEDs and lasers. Let's find out. Now, what is monochromatic source of light? A monochromatic source is a source of light with a discrete wavelength. White light is a mixture of photons with wavelengths that range from 390 to 750 nanometer, which the human eye can detect. Now, get back to Fresnel's biprism experiment. What is Fresnel biprism? A Fresnel biprism is a thin double prism placed base to base and has a very small refracting angle nearly equal to 30 minute. This is equivalent to a single prism with one of its angle nearly 179 degrees and the other two of nearly 30 minute each. What is the speciality of this biprism? It can produce interference pattern by division of wavefront. Let us find out how it works. When monochromatic light falls on biprism ABC through a narrow slit S, it divides the light into two components. One of these components is refracted from portion AC of biprism and appears to come from S1, where the other one refracted through portion BC appears to come from S2. Thus, S1 and S2 act as two virtual coherent sources that form from the original source. Light wave interference results when two waves originating from coherent sources travel through a medium and meet up at the same location. Alternate bright and dark bands form on the screen. These are called interference fringes. In case of Fresnel biprism also, two wave fronts are produced from a single source of light and they superimpose on each other at the same location. So, the interference fringes are formed in the shaded region ST and can be observed by placing a screen MN. Fresnel biprism can be used to determine the wavelength of a monochromatic light source, thickness of a thin transparent sheet or thin film, refractive index of medium, etc. Let's see how the wavelength of monochromatic light can be found from Fresnel biprism experiment. Let us start with the experimental setup. Light from a monochromatic source is made to fall on a thin slit mounted vertically on a rigid optical bench fitted with a scale. The biprism and the screen, which is an eyepiece here, are also mounted vertically on an optical bench. These are adjusted at the same height and can be moved and rotated as required. The eyepiece can be moved in the plane perpendicular to the axis of bench by using a micrometer-based translation stage. The light emerging from the slit falls on the biprism. The edge A of the biprism divides the incident wave front into two parts. One is refracted through the upper half AB of biprism and appears to come from virtual source S1. The other is refracted from lower half AC of biprism and appears to come from virtual S2. The interference fringes are seen in the overlapping region ST and can be seen by eyepiece. We get a central maximum at O and then alternatively dark, bright fringes on both the sides. From the condition of constructive interference, we know that bright band will be formed where the waves will meet constructively. The path difference between the waves will be integral multiple of lambda. Here, n is 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., taking O as 0th band, central maxima. From the condition of destructive interference, we know that the dark bands form where the waves meet in opposite phases. The path difference between the waves is 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. Here, n is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now, the distance of the nth bright band from the central maxima is equal to n lambda d by d, where d is the distance between the source S and the screen or eyepiece, and d is the distance between the two virtual slits S1 and S2. The distance of the nth dark band from the central maxima is equal to 2n plus 1 into lambda d by 2d, where d is the distance between the source S and the screen or eyepiece. So, we can calculate the fringe width by subtracting the distance of the nth bright or dark band from central maxima from the distance of n plus 1th bright or dark band respectively. Thus, we finally get fringe width beta is lambda d by d. Here, the fringe width beta, d and d can be measured from the experimental arrangement. Hence, the wavelength of light can easily be calculated from the formula lambda equal to beta small d by capital D. Let's see how we can find the fringe width. To get beta, fringes are first observed in the field of view of the microscope. The vertical wire of the eyepiece is made to coincide with one of the fringes. The screw of micrometer is moved sideways and number of fringes is counted. Then, beta will be equal to distance moved upon the number of fringes passed. Measurement of d is the distance between source and eyepiece, which is directly measured on the optical bench scale. The only problem being the measurement of the separation of two virtual sources S1 and S2, that is small d. Let's see how we measure that. This d can be measured by placing a convex lens of small focal length between the biprism and the screen or eyepiece, keeping the distance between the slit and eyepiece to be more than 4 times the focal length of lens. The lens is moved along the length of bench to a position where two images of slits are seen in the plane of cross wires of eyepiece. The distance between these two images of slit is measured by setting the vertical cross wire successively on each of images and by recording the two positions of cross wire using micrometer. Let this separation be D1. Now, the lens is moved such that for another position of lens, again two images of slit are seen on eyepiece. Let D2 be the separation between these two images. Since these two positions of lens are conjugate, the separation between the virtual source D is given as equal to square root of D1 D2. Thus, by measuring D, D and beta, wavelength of light lambda can be calculated by the equation lambda equals to beta small d by capital D. What will happen if we replace the monochromatic light in the above experiment by a source of white light? In this case, the fringe pattern consists of several fringe patterns corresponding to all wavelengths of light, and the resultant of this is a central white fringe surrounded by a dark region. Now, if we want to determine the thickness of any transparent thin sheet like mica, we can do that with the above mentioned arrangement. To find the thickness of a thin sheet, first the interference fringes are obtained on the eyepiece for white light. The position of this central white fringe is recorded by focusing the cross wire of eyepiece on it and taking this reading of micrometer scale. Now, mica sheet is introduced in the path of one wave such that it blocks the one half of biprism. By doing it, the one wave transverses an extra optical path and the path difference between the two waves is not same and entire fringe pattern shifts. The central white fringe is now shifted to another position of crosswire. If S is the shift in position of white fringe and mu be the refractive index of mica sheet, then the thickness T of mica sheet is given by T is equal to S upon D into small d upon mu minus 1. From the same formula, if one knows the thickness of the sheet, then he can easily find out the refractive index of the material. Refractive index mu will be equal to S small d upon T capital D